Sophie's phone slipped from her trembling hands, hitting the floor with a sharp crack. She couldn't breathe. The words on the screen blurred as tears pricked her eyes. I'm pregnant, and it's his. Her sister. Her husband. The two people she trusted the most. Every memory she had built with them suddenly felt like a lie. Her chest tightened, a lump lodged in her throat, and for a second, she thought she might collapse. Her mind raced, looping through the past weeks. The whispered phone calls, the sudden excuses, the way her sister avoided her gaze. All the small things she had ignored now screamed the truth. Sophie's mother walked into the room, humming a tune, completely unaware of the storm that had just landed in her daughter's life. Sophie, are you okay? Her voice was light, naive, and it made Sophie want to scream. I need some air, she muttered, ignoring the knot of panic in her stomach. She bolted out the front door, letting the cool night air hit her face. The city lights flickered, but nothing could pierce the darkness she felt inside. How could they betray her? How could her own family expect her to manage the fallout? Her father appeared behind her, worry etched on his face. Sophie, wait. We need to talk. No. I can't talk, she snapped, her voice trembling.
Not now.
Not ever. The next day, she was cornered by her parents. Their words were sharp but wrapped in concern. Sophie, your sister made a mistake, yes, but your husband. He's your responsibility too. You need to fix this. Sophie's heart stopped. Fix it, she echoed, disbelief cutting through her words. You want me to forgive him? To repair this betrayal? How is that my responsibility? Her mother's hands wrung together nervously. Because you're family. That's what family does. You fix what's broken. No, Sophie whispered, shaking her head. I didn't break this. They did. I will not be the one to clean up their mess. Her sister, who had been quietly sobbing in the corner, finally spoke. Sophie, I didn't mean for this to happen. I never wanted to hurt you. Sophie's chest tightened further. Excuses don't undo betrayal. Your words don't erase the pain, the deception, the lies. Her father slammed his hand on the table. Enough. You can't just walk away. Sophie glared at him, fire in her eyes. I'm not walking away from family. I'm walking away from the expectation that I fix what isn't mine to fix. I'm done being the one everyone blames. I'm done. She stormed out of the house, every step fueled by anger, betrayal, and an overwhelming sense of injustice.
Her phone buzzed again.
Another message from her husband. Please, we can talk. Don't push me away. She wanted to throw the phone. She wanted to disappear. She wanted to scream until the pain left her entirely. Instead, she paused. Maybe hearing the truth, even if it hurt, was something she needed to face. When she returned, he was waiting, head bowed, guilt etched across his face. Sophie. Don't, she interrupted sharply. I don't want excuses. I don't want apologies. I want you to understand what you've done. You destroyed trust. You destroyed family. And now everyone expects me to fix it. He swallowed hard. I never meant for it to happen. It was a mistake. Sophie laughed, bitter and harsh. A mistake? This isn't a mistake. This is betrayal. And I am done being anyone's fixer. Her sister appeared, face pale and trembling. Sophie, please. I'm sorry. Sophie's hands clenched. Sorry doesn't fix this. Nothing can. I'm done. You both live with your choices. I am done being the solution. Sophie stood in the hallway, her hands trembling, staring at the floor. The weight of betrayal pressed down on her like a heavy fog. Her parents' expectations felt suffocating, their insistence that she fix what wasn't hers only deepened the pain. She thought of her husband, the man she had once trusted with her heart and her life, the man who had whispered promises while plotting a secret with her sister. Rage surged through her veins. How could they betray her so casually? How could her sister, the one she had confided in since childhood, cross the lines so easily? She stormed out into the night, letting the cold air hit her face, trying to shake the dizzying mix of anger and disbelief.
Her phone buzzed again.
Another message from her husband. We need to talk. Please don't push me away. Sophie's first instinct was to throw the phone, to disappear, to scream until the pain left her entirely. But then she stopped. Maybe hearing the truth, even if it hurt, was something she needed to face. When she returned, he was there, sitting on the edge of the bed, head in his hands. Guilt etched every line of his face. Sophie. Don't, she interrupted sharply, fury burning in her chest. I don't want excuses. I don't want apologies. I want you to understand what you've done. You destroyed trust, loyalty, and family. And now everyone expects me to fix it. He swallowed hard. I never meant for it to go this far. I made a huge mistake. Sophie laughed bitterly, the sound harsh in the quiet room. A mistake? This is betrayal. And I am done being anyone's fixer. Her sister appeared in the doorway, pale and trembling. Sophie, please. I'm sorry. Sophie's fists clenched. Sorry doesn't undo this. Nothing can. I'm done. You both live with your choices. I am done being the solution. Her father's voice called from the hallway, incredulous. Sophie, you can't just walk away from family like this. She turned to face him, eyes blazing. Family? Is that what you call this? I call it betrayal. I call it expectation disguised as duty. And I refuse to participate. Days passed. Sophie began reclaiming her life. She withdrew from constant family calls and meetings, refusing to mediate their mistakes. She focused on her work, her friends, and her own well-being. With every passing day, the weight of impossible expectations lifted from her shoulders. She refused to apologize for protecting her heart. She refused to take responsibility for someone else's betrayal. Her sister and husband faced the consequences of their actions, and Sophie didn't celebrate their pain. She simply accepted that she was not responsible for fixing what they had broken. She realized that loyalty and love were not about sacrificing oneself for others. They were about respect, for herself as much as for anyone else. One evening, Sophie sat by the window, city lights twinkling below, letting herself breathe fully for the first time in weeks. She had survived. She had stood up for herself when everyone else expected her to bow. Though her family remained fractured and trust and love had been shaken, she had not lost herself. That, she decided, was victory enough. And then, she picked up her phone, a small smile tugging at her lips. "What would you have done if this happened to you?" she whispered. Her story was painful, yes, but she knew others might relate.
She wanted to hear from them.
If her journey resonated, she hoped viewers would share their thoughts, comment, and subscribe, not just to follow her story, but to find strength in standing up for themselves too. Sophie closed her eyes, letting the peace settle around her. She knew she couldn't change the past. She couldn't undo betrayal. But she could protect herself, and in doing so, she had found her freedom. And sometimes, that was all anyone could ask for. If you enjoyed this journey, make sure you hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe.